Hello, my name is Kayla Schaff, and today I'm going to be presenting the article titled, Can Regular Long-Term Breakfast Cereals Consumption Benefits Lower Cardiovascular Disease and Lower Diabetes Risk? This was published in the Annals of Epidemiology in June. For a little background information, the population's aging, with 1 in 7 people being of the age of 65 or over. Chronic diseases, including cardiovascular disease, obesity, and diabetes, are more common in the older people. And we know that chronic diseases can be prevented through modifiable risk, and this includes a healthy diet and an increase in physical activity. In this study, the breakfast cereals are defined as a grain-based food product made from oats, rice, wheat, or corn, and past studies have shown that consuming breakfast cereals can protect against obesity and lower risk factors of cardiovascular disease and diabetes. The study objectives are to determine if breakfast cereals reduce the risk of obesity, cardiovascular disease, and diabetes in the population ages of 45 and over. Participants were randomly selected from the Department of Human Services enrollment database. The 45 and up study was utilized. The participants were surveyed using a baseline survey between 2006 and 2009, and then there was a follow-up survey used between 2012 and 2015. The type of study that this is a longitudinal population-based study, and it was aimed at anyone over the age of 45 with a reported diagnosis, or if their doctor told them that they had cardiovascular disease, obesity, or diabetes. The socio-demographic factors included our age, sex, marital status, qualifications from school such as a GED, diploma, bachelor's degree, things like that, and socioeconomic status. And then they also included health behavior factors like smoking, alcohol consumption, and the level of their physical activity. And there was a total of 267,153 men and women aged 45 and over that were sampled, and then a total of 142,503 participants who completed both surveys. The baseline and the follow-up were actually used. The generalized estimating equation, or GEE, was used to examine the statistical difference between the different cereals that were consumed and socioeconomic factors as well as the health behavior factors. The chi-square was used to assess the statistical difference between the percentages of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and the different age groups. The GEE models were also used to examine longitudinal association between cereals and heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. The confidence interval used in the study was 95%. For some analysis of the study in the article, they found that older people are more likely to eat breakfast cereal, especially oats, over younger people. And this may be because we've all seen the commercials for Cheerios and the oatmeal and the whole grain saying that if you eat these, it'll decrease your risk or occurrence of, cardiovascular disease. For the odds ratio, it varies, and we'll look at the tables in the next few slides to discuss that. But after adjusting for socioeconomic factors, the odds ratio either increases or decreases by 10%. And this just means that where you live, how you live, your job, that kind of thing, can dictate how much cereal you're eating, because if someone can't afford it, they're not going to eat it. The longitudinal association between bran cereals and oat cereals show that they form bioactive compounds in the gut, and this helps to lower cholesterol, so this is indeed protective against cardiovascular disease. The results for the muesli show significant protection against cardiovascular disease and diabetes for all ages, and they think that this is because it's high in nuts and dried fruit, which offers the protective properties. And then just for the general group of breakfast cereals included everything: bran, rice, wheat, corn, all of them. There was no association between eating cereals and heart disease, stroke, and diabetes once diagnosed. And then for the following slides, there's four different models, excuse me. Model 1 is the crude mode. Model 2 is adjusted for gender, marital status, education level, socioeconomic status, alcohol and smoking, and physical activity level. Model 3 is adjusted for BMI and Model 2, and then Model 4 is adjusted for fruit, vegetable, red meat, and processed meat consumption. This is a table showing the association of the cereal type and heart disease by the different ages. And if you look, I have just circled muesli for the age groups of 65 and older, and it's showing that the more muesli you eat, there is indeed protective properties of it, and that's what the study found as well. This table shows the association of cereal type and stroke by age, and again, muesli has the best odds ratio. If you eat it, it does offer preventative properties against a stroke. This table shows association of cereal type and diabetes by age, and again, muesli is the winner here. And so for the data interpretation, the potential for bias was self-reporting. There was a couple of fill-in-the-blanks on the survey, and people may not have been as specific as they should have been. The cardiovascular disease type was not specified, so it wasn't, do I have high blood pressure, heart attack, that kind of thing. And then it was unknown how the cereal was eaten or prepared, whether it was eaten with milk, yogurt, did they add sugar, that kind of thing. Some co-founders were age and BMI, and then limitations of the study. The participants not finished. There were some participants that did not finish both baseline and the follow-up survey, and then the unknown socioeconomic factors could hinder the study. So in conclusion, the study revealed that muesli is beneficial in preventing heart disease, stroke, and diabetes in all age groups, and all other types of cereals with oat, bran, rice, wheat, or corn have different effects on the different populations. And so some applications to public health that I think would work, we can use this to counsel people on healthy diet and preventing some of these chronic diseases or lowering their blood pressure, their A1C for diabetes kind of thing. We can provide education in terms that are easy for people to understand, and then also provide screenings for blood pressure or glucose and cholesterol while we're giving these education to help people become healthier. And if